Ever wonder how a relatively small kingdom in southern Africa became one of the most formidable military powers the world has ever seen? The answer lies with one man, Shaka Zulu. Before Shaka, warfare in the region was often ritualistic, involving long-throwing spears and a lot of posturing, with relatively few casualties. It was more about demonstrating strength than total conquest. But Shaka had a different vision of a unified, powerful Zulu nation built on absolute military dominance. And to achieve this, he knew he had to completely revolutionize the way his people fought. The first and perhaps most iconic change was the weapon itself. Shaka did away with the long, flimsy throwing spear, the assegai, which was good for one throw and then left a warrior vulnerable. He replaced it with the iklewa. This was a short, stabbing spear with a long, broad blade. Its name is said to come from the sound it made as it was withdrawn from an enemy's body. The iklewa demanded a radical change in tactics. Instead of fighting from a distance, Zulu warriors now had to get up close and personal, engaging in brutal, decisive hand-to-hand combat. This was terrifying for their opponents, who were completely unprepared for this level of ferocity. To wield the iklewa effectively, warriors needed a better shield. Shaka introduced a larger, stronger cowhide shield, the Isilongu. It was tall enough to protect most of the warrior's body and was strong enough to deflect enemy spears, but it wasn't just for defense. Shaka taught his warriors to use the shield's left edge to hook their opponent's shield, pulling it aside to create an opening for a fatal thrust with the iklewa. This combination of offense and defense, the shield and the iklewa, turned every Zulu warrior into a lethal fighting unit. It was a simple, yet devastatingly effective system. But weapons are nothing without a strategy to deploy them. This is where Shaka's true genius shines through. He created the legendary bull horn formation, or impi. Imagine a charging bull. The main, central force was called the chest. This was the largest and strongest part of the army, composed of veteran warriors. Their job was to pin the enemy force in place, engaging them directly and absorbing their initial attack. While the chest held the enemy's attention, to other groups, the horns would deploy. These were younger, faster warriors who would flank the enemy on both sides, running to encircle them completely. Once the horns had closed in, the enemy was trapped, attacked from three sides, and unable to retreat. Panic and chaos would ensue, but Shaka had one more element. Held in reserve, behind the chest, was the loins. This was a group of elite, experienced warriors who would only be committed at the decisive moment. They could be sent to reinforce a weak spot in the Zulu line, exploit a sudden opportunity, or, most often, deliver the final, crushing blow to the already surrounded and demoralized enemy. This formation was flexible, disciplined, and almost unbeatable on the open plains of southern Africa. Shaka didn't just change weapons and tactics. He transformed the entire Zulu society into a military machine. He introduced constant, grueling training. Warriors were forced to march barefoot for up to 50 miles a day to toughen their feet. They drilled endlessly, perfecting the bull horn formation until it was second nature. This created a level of discipline and physical endurance unheard of at the time. Shaka also reorganized the army into age-based regiments, or amabutho, which fostered intense loyalty and competition between units. Through these revolutionary changes, Shaka Zulu forged an army that conquered a vast empire and left a legacy that is still studied and admired today. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this piece of history as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest military strategies. See you in the next one.